Thanks for joining us, Coach. Your practice facility in Ashburn, Virginia is about 33 miles away from the state capitol, sir. What time did you hear about what was going on, and what did you make of what you saw yesterday, sir?
Gosh, once we walked off the practice field, I heard all the buzz around the facility, and so we flipped on the television and we saw it, and it was disturbing. It surely was, to see the violence at our nation's capital. That really was disappointing.
Go ahead, Max.
Coach, Coach, you were brought in as the head coach of a dysfunctional franchise to partly change the culture, which you have clearly done. Everyone knew your reputation preceded you as a highly competent NFL head football coach. Did you have any thoughts about a kind of culture that leads to this sort of insurrection in the very city in which your team calls home?
To be honest with you, the whole attitude and thought process here was really just changing the way we looked at things and our attitude. The biggest thing that we all decided, more so than anything else, was that we were not going to be judged on what we used to be. We're going to be judged on who we're becoming. And when you look at what's going on in society today, people don't approach it that way. But I will say this: in Georgia, Stacey Abrams did that. She lost. She didn't go out and make a big fuss about it the wrong way. She went about it the right way. And that's what's impressive. That's how you change a culture. That's how you change an attitude. That's how you change a mindset. Okay, great. I lost. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go out and I'm going to beat on the doors. I'm going to go out and I'm going to speak at these different events. And I'm going to alert people to what we can do. I'm going to alert people to how we can become. To me, that's the kind of role model you want. And the thing that I've learned, to be honest with you, because I was one of those early on that, I don't think athletes and coaches should get involved in politics, to where I'm one of those that realize that we do have a voice that people do listen to, and we've got to be the right kind of role models for people to follow.
Coach, it's interesting that you say that, because sticking with this subject, at least partially, and parlaying that to your football team, when you talked about instilling a culture change per se, I want to know how difficult it was, if it were difficult at all, to insert that change in light of all the things that have gone on in the year 2020 as it pertains to social justice issues. Do you see that it's been more challenging, or to some degree less challenging, because obviously football players appear to be more conscientious and more aware and alert than ever before, because obviously they have to be with the NFL stars being as big as they are?
Yeah, you're right about that, Stephen. And to be honest with you, I think it was a lot easier because there was so much change that people wanted outside of us as well. And everything from the Floyd George murder to changing our name Floyd, to all these things that happened. I'm sorry, George. Excuse me. I apologize. The George Floyd murder. It's one of those things that with the change people wanted, we had to make change. We had to come in and say, we're not going to stand for this type of stuff, guys. And if it does happen, there are consequences, which we've had to do. We've had to exercise, our right to pass consequences down to the people that had perpetrated these situations. And so what we've done is, when something came up, we made moves, we made decisions, we changed things, and we're just going forward. We're not gonna, look back and say, this is our history and it's who we are. No, this is our history. We've learned from our history. We apologize for it profusely, but we're going to correct this and we're going forward. And that's really the thing that we've tried to do.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus.